That is so
That's
cool.
that is just one of the coolest intros. I swear to God. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. We're late.
We're late. We are
We're
late.
late. We're late.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. This is the Cemetery Files with myself, Jay Hill, and
Kelly Schaefer.
yes, the wonderful Kelly Schaefer. Okay, so we're waiting for our guest to show up, which is fine. You know, sometimes these things happen, but
Yes.
during this time, and I even had some stupid technical difficulties with my laptop, so I have to use my phone again.
It's the gremlins. It's the computer gremlins.
You know, it's just one of those things where if it isn't one thing, it's
Oh yeah.
flipping another,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. But
Oh, I hear
I
it
heard
bleep.
him. I
I
heard him.
heard it. I heard it. Oh, there he is, kinda. Yeah, there he is.
Can you get
Got
it?
it. He's going sideways. There we go.
All right.
You ready? I'll pop him in.
Let's do the
Introduce him.
introduction first.
Okay.
We have Rob Webb on the show today, and he's got some really interesting stories. And
Yeah.
so, you know, instead of just waiting, and we just like to kind of just get people right on. And so
Let's
let's
do it.
see.
Let's
Let's
do the whole thing.
let's do it.
Let's do the whole thing live. Here we go.
All right. There he
There
is.
he is. Are you
You
there?
finally
Can
made
you
it.
hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, we
Okay.
can hear you.
All right. All right.
Thanks for
Thanks for
coming on.
thanks for being on the show. I know that
Thanks for having me.
this has been a while. When we put that PSA about, you know, anybody can come on and talk to us and share some stories and whatnot. So go ahead and introduce yourself and what you're doing in the paranormal and whatnot, and just kind of let people know who you are.
Yeah.
My name's Rob. As far as the paranormal, oh wow, I just kind of got into that. I've been into it for a long time, but I would say over the last 2 years, I've been heavily introduced into that area. Not into it as far as the whole paranormal investigation and ghost hunting and things like that, as deep as a lot of other people are, but I have different reasons for being involved and being interested in that field.
Hmm.
And it has a lot to do with what happened to me almost 2 years ago to the date.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't you? We heard a little bit
What
about that.
happened?
Yeah. Let's tell our viewers what actually happened.
Um, August the 6th of 2021. Uh, I'm not sure what led up to it. Stress, maybe everything under the sun. So August the 6th of 2021, I had a massive heart attack, a
Oh
widowmaker,
wow.
and it killed me. Yeah, there's a whole story behind that. What happened? What I saw proof of I was dead and could see what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Um,
So you were
and
like
then
like a spirit that was looking down on yourself?
so you know, you hear stories like that all the time. Looking down on your body. It wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was similar, just kind of a different point of view. I guess is a good way of putting it. I don't know
Yeah.
if you want me to tell the whole story into
Yeah,
that or
go
not.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Go right
We got
ahead.
a whole
Yeah. We
hour.
got a whole
Oh,
hour.
gotcha. Okay. Okay. This all kind of sort of leads into the paranormal world, I guess, in a way. I've been interested in this for quite some time, but so August the 6th of 2021, feeling kind of your symptoms that you hear about all the time. You get a little bit of chest pains, bad heartburn, left arm's really killing you. So I was talked into calling 911 by my girlfriend, and so I did. They showed up, took a lot of tests, and kind of sort of make this a shorter part of the story, but decided I needed to go to the hospital. So they snatched me up and took me on in, and I felt like I was kind of in and out quite a bit on the ride there. When I got there, I had some friends show up, and my girlfriend found out. She was on her way driving down to Tennessee, where I was at, and she of course, she was in a huge rush. She got a message. Yeah. She's 11 hours away at this point, so
Oh wow.
Oh
she's driving
gosh.
through the night. And she
Oh.
got a pretty. I had messaged my daughter, and this is what really freaked everyone out, freaked her out. I'd messaged my daughter from the ambulance and told her, "Hey, I'm passing your place. Don't get in a hurry. Not feeling good, kind of going in and out. I'm passing your place right now. Don't get into a hurry. I'll see you there." And
Mhm.
of course, my daughter messaged my girlfriend, and the first thing that popped up on my girlfriend's phone as she's driving down and just left was he passed.
Oh
So,
shoot.
yeah, so that
Oh,
I
that's not
think
good.
she threw it in turbo mode and started, splitting
Wow.
lanes all the way to Tennessee. So, like, they got me there at the hospital, and all of a sudden I felt pretty good. Yeah, I felt okay. Like,
Mhm.
"Nah, I shouldn't be here. This is probably just a. I should have ate more Tums. Maybe I just had bad heartburn or something. But
Mhm.
so friends started showing up. My daughter started. She got there with her boyfriend at the time, and everything seemed to be going okay. And then then all of a sudden, this crew of people came into the room, and I remember this.
Mhm.
I Just before that, I remember feeling really, really bad, like
Mhm.
everything was just going downhill quickly.
Hmm.
Right.
Um, and then about that time, the whole room I was in the ER was just full of people.
Mhm.
Um,
You're
and
bringing
they
back a
rushed.
lot of memories for me.
Oh, oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So it's yeah, just everyone just rushed in, and I remember them rushing everyone else out. That was there to
Mhm.
see me. They went into the hallway just outside the room. I remember thinking to myself, wow, I don't remember, taking my clothes off and putting a gown on, but here we are.
Hmm.
And, but yeah, it was just happening very quickly. Um, so they wheeled me out into the hallway. Now, this is where things kind of get a little weird. Um, I remember very clearly them wheeling me out into the hallway and seeing my friends and my daughter. And the look on their face when they were looking back at me was just pure despair.
Oh
Hmm.
wow.
Absolutely. Yeah, heads were down. They were, oh, like kind of that, oh God look, you know? And I remember telling them, oh, it's going to be fine. I'm going to go in, they're going to feed me a peanut butter sandwich and I'm going to go home. I've been through worse than this. This is nothing.
Right.
And I remember thinking that and kind of in my mind saying this out loud. So they get me down the hallway into the elevator. And I do remember things kind of getting dark. Um, it's hard to explain. I remember things getting dark,
Mhm.
but I I really remember them, the doctor, and I'll get to his little bit of story there in a second. This is kind of what a little humor in this, but so I remember the doctor telling the nurses the plan, what we're going to do. Just the entire plan was laid out there in this elevator going up to the next floor. Um, get into the room, and this is the shortened version. So
Mhm.
I remember coming out of the elevator into the room, and them, trying to go through my hand and go through my wrist to put a stent in,
Mhm.
Hmm.
and it would not work. So they had to go through the groin and put a stent in.
That
And
sucks.
then,
Yeah.
well, it just seems
that
like just
that
like
needle
that.
sucks.
Yeah, it seemed like just like that. I was waking up in an ER. I was waking up in the recovery room.
Oh
Hmm.
Um,
wow.
but so when the doctor comes in, I was telling him the things that I had heard and asking about the nurse because she seemed really upset, things like that. And I was telling him how are they doing? They seemed really upset in the hallway. Um, and I was making fun of his name. My doctor's name is Brian Adams.
Oh
So
gosh.
yeah, so I'm telling the shortened version of this so I can go back and
That's
tell
fine.
what
Yeah, go
really
for it.
happened.
Yeah.
So I was telling him, I said, yeah, it's funny, yeah, what did you leave your music career to come be a cardiologist for a little while, and making jokes with him a little bit. And I was asking about my friends in the hallway, just a few different things that were going on. And I told him that, I remember him, I guess the wrist didn't work and had to go through the groin. And he was looking at me during all this, very, very confused. And I didn't understand what was going on. I remember he did back up a step, and he really kind of had a white look on his face, very calm looking. He said, Robert, there's no way you can remember that. You were dead.
Oh.
Hmm.
So I had went in the ER
Oh
from what they
my.
told me.
So you died in the ER and they moved you out of there and oh
So
wow.
there's a lot that happened
Wow.
in between in my mind, in what I saw between, and I told him very specific details of what was going on, and he was just blown away. So I remember them talking in the elevator, and then and I was in my mind, I'm saying everything's going to be cool. We're all good guys. It's man, we got Brian Adams is here. We're golden. So we get into the room, and I remember the nurse being very, very calm, or very, very nervous. I'm sorry, and the doctor was very calm. I seemed to be okay. I thought, well, we're gonna put in a stent, and I remember him calling out numbers, and these are parts that later on I told the doctor about. Very specific details. I
Mm-hmm.
remember him calling out different numbers. Basically, they're different sizes of the stent that they put in, and he's repeating this number over and over so that it's very clear to him, the nurses. I guess for legality issues,
Right.
he's calling these numbers over and over. And I remember him doing that. Um, I remember him trying to go through my wrist. And in my mind, I think I'm being very fidgety and moving around a lot. So I reached over to grab my wrist, my hand,
Mm-hmm.
to hold it very still for him while he does this.
Wow.
And then of course, he couldn't do that. And then I remember kind of looking towards the nurse. She's very upset. And I'm telling her, don't worry, hey, we've got Brian Adams here. If this guy can, we've got a musician here pretending to be a cardiologist. If he can do it, we're good. There's nothing to worry about here. You guys just bring in anybody to work on something. So I remember kind of making jokes about his name to him. It's what I do. It's what I thought would kind of calm everyone down, because I thought I was okay.
You did the same
And
thing with yours, didn't you, Jay? You tried to calm everybody down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I heard from Spirit
Yeah.
right away what to tell my
Yeah.
wife. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
But I didn't have a heart attack. I had a stroke.
Yeah.
So
okay,
yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
that was a different thing. But I never felt like I wasn't going to be okay. I totally felt that surrounding feeling of everything was going to be fine, and it
That's
was.
that's really
Yeah.
strange that both of you had that thing going on.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't a feeling of despair or fear or anything like that. I
Nope.
just felt like I was okay. And I know
Mhm.
you had mentioned earlier that, you're looking down on your body. It wasn't like that. I felt like I knew I was laying down
Mhm.
on this bed, and they were working on me, but my point of view was very different, because my point of view would have been staring up at a ceiling.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But it wasn't. It was looking eye to eye with the doctor, the nurse, looking down at my hand, trying to grab my wrist to hold it still, making a joke, and things like that.
So you
Mhm.
were
And
walking
then,
around them,
well, not
basically.
really. I was just kind of,
You were laying.
my point of view, I was sitting up in bed.
You were still in your body in that sense, but you were
Yeah,
on your way in between,
yeah,
and that's what it was. I mean, I could see that you were still there, present, but you weren't.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
you.
I was definitely out, but
Yeah.
it's almost like I was halfway sitting up in a bed,
Mhm. Mhm.
being able to move and things like. Of course, I can't. I know that wasn't the case now, but that's the way I remember it. And then after the jokes and after, the actual surgery itself, and I do remember after him trying to go through my wrist, them going through my groin,
Mm-hmm.
then everything was dark. I just was like I went to sleep, and then I just woke up uh,
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
in the recovery room, and I was
Mm-hmm.
telling him all this, and he just said, "Man, there's no way. There's no way you remember me calling out these different gauges of a stent. You did not reach over and grab your wrist. You're not making
Wow.
jokes to anyone." But it was very loud in my mind.
Right.
It was very odd. I know I'd done a podcast. It's actually been over a little over a year since I've even talked about this. This is only the
Wow.
second time I've done this.
Hmm.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, I did a
Well,
podcast maybe
we're
about a year and
glad
a half
that
ago.
yeah, we're glad that you're okay, and we're glad
Yeah.
that you're seem to be in better health. And with that experience, let me ask you, what did that actually do for you after you came out of the hospital and then you went home, and what did you experience? Things that changed. What things changed for you, spiritually and mentally?
I realized that, and I know this is very cliche, and this is very everybody says the same thing, but it's very true. I realized that time is running out,
Mm-hmm.
and if you want to do some things, you better do it.
Right.
Because yeah, no, like I said, it's a cliche, things like that, but you never know. I've always tried to stay in pretty good health and pretty good shape, uh, and that just happened. And it very easily, if it would have been 5 minutes later, I very easily could not have been here right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's really no reason I should be here right now.
Hmm.
But yeah, it really made me realize that time is running out. Um, if you want to do something, you better do it.
Mhm.
Um, and
So
that,
did Go ahead.
well, and the big one was death.
Yeah.
Um, Everyone fears it and it talks about they're scared of it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I'm not anymore because it,
Mhm.
it wasn't scary. I didn't worry about anyone that you think you're leaving behind. I'm just not. I mean, I don't want to go today, but
Right.
um,
Mhm.
I'm not afraid of it by any
Right.
means. Yeah,
Right.
it's very peaceful. It was nice. No, nothing hurt. It was great.
God,
It
wouldn't
I
was
that
was a
be
just like
lot
a
nice?
thing you
funnier
had to
then when I
go
went.
through.
Nothing
Yeah.
hurts.
It was just like, oh, I'm here. I got to deal with this. This sucks, but I'm okay. And you didn't know the ramifications of it, the dire situation that you were in at that time. But your spirit, basically, you were calm throughout the whole thing.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot to be said for that.
So did you find that you had any kind of like um I mean, Jay, didn't your gifts increase after yours?
About a year, 2 years afterwards, yeah, they did, and um, things just turned into a different direction.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So
Yeah.
did you have any gifts that came out when you were afterwards, Rob?
I don't know if we would call them gifts. I would
Mhm.
call it a more of a calm understanding.
hmm
Ah.
Um, so Broadhead Manor here in Broadhead, Wisconsin.
Mhm.
So they do a lot of investigations and things like that, and I got kind of invited, so I went. And I've really been in investigations before. You go into haunted houses, you go into this, you go into haunted graveyards, things like that, all this kind of stuff.
hmm
But it's always beforehand. Oh, it's supposed to be spooky and fun and things like this. But when I was involved in some of these investigations, you know, there was no fear, and I wasn't trying to see them
hmm
or prove that they're there. It was just in my mind, I'm the only thing I want out of this is where are you and are you okay?
hmm
Because I know where I was now,
Mhm.
Right.
and it was very confusing. And maybe, are, do you know that we're here? do you know that I'm standing here asking you stupid questions, or are you just walking around in your hospital room?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's so. I don't know if it was really a guess. It was just more of
An
a very calm
awareness.
understanding of what I
An
want from
awareness.
you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if
I've
that's
been
a
to
perfect answer to your question, but
Yeah. I've been to Broadhead. I was there at the Paracon, the Spirits in the Spring, and I think I saw you there in passing.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah, that place is pretty cool. I remember when I got out of the car and I was walking to the building, the first thing I heard was "Don't step on the grass," and somebody was yelling at me not to step on the grass. Not living was yelling at me.
Mhm.
So I was like, "Oh, okay." And then when I went inside, I was talking with some people, and they said, "Oh, that's probably the principal." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
okay." So
Yeah, that place is it's loud. It can be loud. It's not, there's nothing bad there, but it can be very active
no,
and very loud.
no,
Yeah.
no. My cousin went to school there years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my cousin is like in her 80s. So, yeah, she went to high
Oh wow.
school there. So,
Yeah,
hmm.
no, that building means a lot to a lot of people here in town. It's
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of people went to school there.
So where are you actually located at?
Right now in Broadhead, Wisconsin.
Oh, you're in Broadhead. Okay.
Oh,
I am.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
that's only what 2 hours from Geneva, Lake Geneva.
Broadhead. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Long
yeah.
ways for me. Long
Long
ways.
ways for yeah. She's from
I'm in
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back and forth to Tennessee all the time.
I'm in
I was from
Portland.
Gatlinburg.
I'm in
Yeah.
Portland. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're not far from there. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Mhm.
15 miles. That's where my
Yeah.
That's one
grocery
place.
store
Yeah.
is.
And that's one place I would like to visit is Gatlinburg. That would
Oh,
be, I mean,
Gatlinburg's.
yeah, the one of these times we're gonna have to get down there and, or I'm gonna have to get down there and go and do an investigation.
Did
So
you
there's
say
some
Gallatin or Gatlinburg, Rob?
Gatlinburg.
Oh, okay.
Gatlinburg.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's not close to me.
Hillbilly Vegas.
Hillbilly Vegas. That's exactly right. When I
Definitely
first
is.
pulled into Gatlinburg on my trip through Tennessee to see where it was I was going to be living, I pulled into Gatlinburg and went, "Oh my God, it's Tennessee's version of Lake Tahoe."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the weirdest little town on the
It
planet.
is
It's
so
insane.
bizarre.
Yeah.
So, what do you do with the paranormal then? Do you just
Well,
go
not
out on
much
investigations or what?
now. I'm still trying to hook up with Dan Orville and Larry, the people like them, to go out and do a few investigations. But we were doing quite a few back last year. Gosh, when I say quite a few, we were probably doing 2 a week. Um,
Oh, that is a
quite a few.
lot.
Yeah, we were doing a lot. And
Oh,
I really think that, um, and we did that through probably the first of this year. Um,
Mhm.
and I really think it started taking a toll.
oh yeah.
There's too much. And I know it sounds to a lot of people that might be watching this that aren't into that very deep and don't really understand. Um, it really can take a toll. Boy, it can just drain you,
Mhm,
regardless of why you're there. If you're there
mhm,
to prove their existence or get them on recording or anything, or if you're just there to ask a question for your own
Mhm.
sanity, it'll drain you.
Oh
Yeah.
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 We just had an investigation and she
I
saw the look
watched
on my face.
Yep, I literally watched the energy drain out of Jay at our last investigation. By the
Yeah.
end of the night, I was worried about him.
Yeah. And
I
I
Right.
had an
was.
hour drive. So, yeah.
I've let's see, went to the stables and I took me 2 weeks to get done vibrating from that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that was, and
So,
now I gotta go back this Saturday, so it'll be another
yeah.
2 weeks before I stop vibrating again.
Yeah, so there are many places around that can drain your energy if you're not grounded properly, if you're not, protected, yourself properly. And I usually do. It was just the fact of a lot of the excitement of the last investigation we were at was an old theater in Illinois and DeKalb, and it was it was a great time. Don't get me wrong, but it just left me just exhausted. It took
Mhm.
me a while to get over that, you
Mhm.
know. So, but
It's
yeah.
sort of the same way. I believe that because of what happened, to me a few years ago.
Mhm.
I tend to, I'm not afraid um, of,
Mhm.
well, I'm not afraid of death. Let's put it that way.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, and I tend to I definitely open myself up because I'm not afraid of them. I'm not trying to prove anything. It's just for me. I don't care if there's 100 people standing around with all the meters and the lights and then, all this. It's just for me.
Mhm.
So I do think that I open myself up a lot more to kind of invite whoever in or
Mhm.
whatever in, just so I can understand where they're at, what's going on with them,
Mhm.
how are you
Right.
doing, where are you?
Right.
Mhm.
Um, and maybe that's too much. Maybe I open myself up a little too much. And
Well, I
I
don't
know
think
that's,
so. I don't necessarily think so. I mean, it's a legitimate question, and that paranormal investigators usually ask. But we as investigators, me and Kelly, and other teams that we're part of, that we want to know the story of the person that passed. We want to know the untold story, the things that people don't talk about, and how they ended up where they ended up. You know what I mean? There's a lot of spirits in the spirit world that are hanging around or whatever. They want their story told. They
Mhm.
want a voice like they
Mhm.
did on Earth. So
Well, it's so they won't be forgotten.
right, right, and
Right.
that's a lot of it too. And
Every
honoring these people in that matter of, if you're doing an investigation and you're genuinely concerned about what you're investigating and the person that you're trying to connect to, all of that information can be transposed into respect and, honoring them and celebrating them in that sense. A lot of paranormal investigators nowadays, it's just they go for the thrill, or they they go to investigate to find the truth or find the proof or whatnot. But yeah, for us, it's to have that person who's passed or persons, have their voice spoken again,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and so there's different avenues and different things that people in paranormal groups that they do, and to each his own, but um yeah, so what you were asking, I think, is a legitimate question, and I don't necessarily think they get necessarily tired of it in that sense. I mean, there's that no concept of right or wrong, because you're just trying to find the truth. You're trying to find the event that led up to them being deceased, or
Mhm.
what happened, or do you have a message, or there's just so many different ways to go about doing it. So but
Yeah, I feel like when I go into a place like that, it's that I'm very non-threatening.
Mhm.
mhm.
Um, there's jokes there, I've cut up things like that. But when it's time to go into a space, I just get very quiet, and
Mhm.
I can kind of feel myself just open up,
Mhm.
and I feel like I get more sometimes without talking about it. Um,
Yeah. Mhm.
with a lot of investigators, whether they're right wherever they are, and I really feel like sometimes I get more out of that but on my own by myself, or if I'm there with a group of people, than what they're getting. Because I do feel like sometimes they're more focused on, and I'm not knocking anyone, I'm not tearing anyone apart. This is not what this is. I'm just something I've noticed
Mhm.
that there are things that are going on there that maybe they don't see because they're a little too focused on the green dot lights or
Mhm.
this or that or the music boxes and things. And there's nothing wrong with those. That's great because it lets you know if something's near or whatever. But
Mhm.
I do feel like that there are a lot of things that are missed.
Mhm.
That I've definitely seen a lot of things going on there around me. Bridget there at Broadhead Manor, she was, touched on the face and her hair was brushed to the side. Both of us experienced things down in the basement of Broadhead that
Mhm.
maybe other people don't. Um, but I do feel like that sometimes if you take that equipment and just set it aside,
Mhm.
or maybe it's just for a little bit during that session or something,
Well,
not
it's
the whole
just
time.
It's just what I was talking about last night with somebody is our body is the biggest antenna out there,
Oh yeah.
Right.
and a
Yeah.
lot of people don't use it.
I feel like if you walk in with the right energy, you're
Mhm.
going to get the right energy.
And
Right.
and you are correct in exactly what you just said. That is so true. That is, if you come in with the correct energy, the correct intent, and the respectful intent, and all that stuff, that is what you're going to attract. If you're going to go in there and to be disrespectful, and you're not going to get much.
Mhm.
Mhm. Well, your earlier question, as far as did it up a bit of gifts or anything, and I felt like the heart attack is what did that, or
Hmm.
dying is what did that. Um, if that had not have happened, there's no doubt in my mind that I would be, right now, if we went into an investigation or graveyard, anything like that, I would be the loud jackass in the back, making jokes, smoking a cigar, uh,
Hmm.
in the way, you know, probably be kicked out of the joint in about 5 minutes. But now, yeah, um, it burn all down when I leave. But
I'd
it's
follow
just with
you with that cigar, though.
yeah, yeah.
Of course, I
I'm
can't
not
smoke
supposed
them
to be
anymore these
smoking, but
days.
now I smoke more now than I did before my heart attack. So
I
that's
can't do
great.
it. I can't smoke them anymore. It really bums me out. Oh, there goes my
You
camera.
can't.
No, it makes me sick. I
Oh,
used to smoke cigars and drink wine with them. There's some wines that go really like a Zinfandel with a cigar. Oh yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I do.
Sangiovese with a cigar. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I
Big old
just I feel
fat.
like that just calmed me down a lot.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'd be the jerk in the background making too many jokes and being too loud and sucking down a beer or something. And since then, I've really just when it comes to that whole area, I just calm down because I feel like I've been there now. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It makes a lot of sense. It really does. I mean, mine was I had AFib and it was to I had been experiencing it for over a day, and finally I said I got to go to the hospital. This is I can't get this to stop because I
Wow.
used to be able to I can manipulate my heartbeat and my blood pressure, and I was not able to get this to go away. And went in and they tried to medically uh, bring it back into rhythm, and it didn't work, and they're like, we're going to have to shock you. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay. And
Yeah.
that's when, you brought back the memories of everybody that wasn't needed being pushed out of the room. And then the room was filled with people. It was like elbows to assholes is what they say.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it was. And they shocked me and they said afterwards I had passed and they got me back. So and after that, I had no fear of death either. It had changed. I wasn't really afraid of death before that, but I definitely was not afraid of death afterwards.
Right.
It was just it's an act of nature, and it'll come when it comes, and on we go.
Yeah. People talk about it hurting when you're or whatever. I mean, it didn't.
Hmm.
It
No,
was very very peaceful. It was.
I would like to have a day without any pain. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh my
What
God.
is
You
that
have
like?
no idea. Yesterday and last night was one of the worst days I've had in a
Oh,
while. Like it's
oh,
I know that it's done damage. Um my heart is not permanent was not there was no permanent damage,
good,
which is
Well, that's
amazing.
excellent,
good.
excellent.
But I know that there's been other damages. I mean it's definitely put I'm damaged. I know I am. The part of that's probably self-inflicted before the heart attack, but um
Yeah, you ride motorcycles, don't you?
wrecked them all. Yeah. Yeah.
Knock on wood. I haven't done that yet.
I put a couple off the dragon there in Gatlinburg. So yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And
It's
for people who don't know, Kelly rides a Harley.
I ride a Harley. I ride a
nice.
2015 Heritage Softail.
Yeah.
Classic.
You got nice. I got a wow. I got a 2000 right now. I have an '06 Dyna. It's a straight bob,
Oh.
but it's not a '06 street bob.
Oh, okay.
Everything's I've cut it.
Customized.
It's complete custom. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I believe it's
Yeah,
on my
my
Facebook or
baby,
Instagram somewhere.
yeah. Her name's Freedom, and she just she's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, my name's hers is Fancy. So
Fancy. Yeah. I got Freedom.
yeah,
Yeah,
Nice.
it's actually the only time that my back does not hurt is when I'm riding my motorcycle, which is
nothing
weird.
hurts when you're riding a bike. Yeah,
Nothing hurts when you're riding the bike. Nope.
it does when you park it and get off, but while you're riding,
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah. And then you realize that your butt's actually numb.
Mhm.
So, that's why it doesn't hurt, because it's numb.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So when you're out there with your gifts and you're out there in the room and you're trying to be open and all that kind of stuff, do you see pictures in your head of people that might be there at the location in spirit?
Um,
Do you have any of that kind of gifts
no,
or anything like that?
I feel like if there's something strong going on there, I do feel like that I can tell if they're upset,
Hmm.
if they don't want me there or us or whoever, or if they're happy to see us, or if they're afraid or confused. I feel like I know what they might be feeling.
So it's pure empathic.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I don't
more
know
of
that
a
I see a lot.
you sense the frequency of energy that's being transmitted.
Hmm?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't hear
Interesting.
voices. I don't even pretend to hear voices. I don't.
Yeah.
Um,
That's you're lucky.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I can't say that.
Body
I mean,
voices are like,
yeah,
ah.
it it's beneficial. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's okay, but it takes a while for somebody who hasn't experienced that, or somebody who is maybe just experiencing that. It's a little disturbing after in the beginning, but once you get used to knowing who's talking to you, then it's just like going to the store. It's
Sure.
just normal. But
Normal everyday stuff.
yeah, we are the normal abnormal.
Yeah, there you go.
you know, but that's
I
okay.
want nothing to do with normal. That's all it is to it. I want nothing to do with normal. No,
Yeah,
take it away. Go away.
yeah, right, right.
I've had way too
So,
Oh
much
yeah,
normal in my
so
life.
do
I
you
lost
have
that years ago.
anything? So, Rob, do you have anything planned coming up soon, like in like a month or so, or are you going to be at the Rock Island Paracon?
I would love to be. We got this year. We've really concentrated just on kind of us in a way, just doing some traveling back and forth to Tennessee, things like that. We haven't had any big plans as far as paranormal at all.
Hmm.
If something pops up, then we will.
Hmm.
Um, I know we went to Paracon there at Broadhead Manor. That's about the last thing that we've done.
Hmm.
We haven't done a whole lot since then. We kind of just taken a break from
Yeah.
it.
Right,
No, that makes
right.
sense.
Not walked away by any means. We've got just concentrating on some other things right now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a Paracon in October 7th at the Rock Island Haunted YMCA, and that there's going to be a lot of people there. I think there's like a hundred. I don't know why.
Huge.
The
And once I see
vendors,
that
the
pop
vendor
up,
list
yeah,
is huge.
Yeah, I got
we'll,
three
we'll
Paracons in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
wow,
you're a
I got
busy
the
girl.
7th, the 14th, and the 21st for me.
Yeah.
The
right around
21st is the
Tennessee
one
area.
that's in Nashville.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
the Legends and Tennessee Legends and Haunts, I think is what it is. Yeah. That
Yeah.
one's over 100 vendors this year too.
Hmm.
And
Wow.
it's only their second year. But Rock
Yeah.
Island, it's their
This is
first
their
year, and
first
they're
year.
huge. It's huge.
Yeah, this building is huge. So yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. So for people who are watching this or listening, me and Kelly will be there representing the Cemetery Files, as well as Studio Six Productions is sponsoring, one of the sponsors for this Paracon, and yeah, we're looking forward to it. We'll have a booth. You can come down and hang out with us, talk to us, whatever. We're all about meeting new people. So Rob, if you get a chance to go down there, we totally would
Yeah,
love to
come
see
on
you.
by.
Rock
Yeah,
Island's not that far.
No,
It's
it's
right,
not.
right down the road. Yeah, it's right down the road. Yeah, we'll be
yeah.
there.
Yeah, that
Cool.
that sounds like a good time. Yeah,
Cool.
and
Yeah.
all the
It'll
proceeds
be
go
fun.
to the benefit of the building, and
No.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people have, all these different places that they're, creating these events for these haunted places, and they want to just keep the upkeep, pay for the upkeep and keep these places up and running, and
Yeah.
yeah, we actually have an investigation on the 18th of next month where Kelly's going to drive up
Ooh, you want to come?
again.
You want to come?
You're driving up, and
Yeah.
we're doing we're doing a show, an
And
episode.
hopefully I won't make the wrong turn and add 6 hours to my
Yeah,
trip.
like she did last time. Yeah.
Wow.
I
So
should
yeah,
have kept
so
my
then
going to Indianapolis. I really should have.
Is that where you're going? Is Indianapolis?
No, I was headed up to DeKalb,
in
and I
Illinois,
decided
yeah,
that I was going to do it by map. I was going to exercise my mapping skills, and I used
that
the
was a
United
mistake.
That was the mistake. No, the mistake
But
was
you
using
did
the
beat me
United
there, though.
States. I did.
You did.
The problem was is that I used the United States map instead of the states maps. So
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what screwed me
Don't
up.
you remember the Rand McNally's?
I had an atlas with me. I had a trucker's atlas with me that my friend loaned me.
Uh,
And I decided that, oh, I'm going to do it by my map. Yeah, it's
right.
what's known as overconfidence and the inability to stop and ask for directions that I inherited from my father.
Right. Right. So, Rob, let me ask you: you've been to Lake Geneva, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just up there a
Is
few
there
weeks
any?
ago, actually.
Uh, if you ever want a cool place to stay, I used to do my show. My other show that's coming back up online in September. Um, Maxwell Mansion.
Ooh,
Okay.
that sounds cool.
That place is got quite a few nice spirits, and it's just a great old building to hang out in. They've got a speakeasy in the basement, and they've got an apothecary bar upstairs, and it's just, yeah, if you just want to hang out and have, learn a little bit about the history, that place is definitely.
I'll definitely check that out. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good friends with the owner, Monica and Luke, and yeah, I did my other podcast there for a year, and I had activity on live a couple times. So yeah,
Nice.
it was pretty cool. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's some cool different places in Lake Geneva, and one of these days, Kelly, when if we have an investigation up here by me, then you'll have to hang out.
Absolutely. Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't been up there yet.
Beautiful area, too.
I need to go up and taste Wisconsin cheese. Fresh Wisconsin cheese.
I
yeah,
mean, it's okay.
yeah. It's cheese. I mean, I don't know.
It's you gotta
It's
do it.
it's the Dairyland, they say, and all that. Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
I remember we used to go into Wisconsin to pick up a side of beef. We'd
yeah,
drive up from Iowa and we'd pick up a side of beef and drive it back home and put it in the big huge freezer.
You used
nice.
to live in Iowa?
Yeah, I was born in Cedar Rapids.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Wow.
I lived in Iowa for years too, and then
Me too.
I
where
loved
at?
it.
I
Where
was
are
in
you?
Mount Pleasant.
Ah, yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
real
I
shithole.
lived I lived on the other end in Sioux City.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, you're way away. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I lived on the
Yeah.
border of Nebraska and Minnesota and South Dakota.
Yeah. We were in
That four corner. Yeah.
Yeah, I
we were
made
So
a
in
point to stop in
Mount
my
Pleasant, Fairfield area for, oh my gosh, 10 years almost.
yeah.
Yeah, we were there for a while and moved back. Got divorced and then moved back down to East Tennessee. Stayed
Hmm.
down there for a while.
Yeah.
yeah, this
It would
is
have been
my
a little more
second year
permanent.
in Tennessee, so
Second year, okay.
I'm still getting used to where everything is. I can
Yeah.
make a home without a map now, but that's okay.
Then that you get the same thing when you're just walking in your house.
Oh, yeah.
GPS help.
She can't find her way to this room to that room, probably.
Little
Hey,
yellow
it's
flag
1,000
markers.
square feet, dude.
Yeah.
It's like 50 feet on one side and 25 feet on the other side. It's 1,000 square
And
feet.
she's got a nice tall spirit in there that hangs
Gary
out with her a
left.
lot.
Gary left.
He did?
He did. Gary's left.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, that's okay. It's all right.
He said, "This lady's crazy. I'm out of here."
Yeah. That's pretty much probably what he said. Yeah.
No.
I started blaming him for stuff, so he left.
Oh, yeah. That's irritating. Oh, you got to take that responsibility.
And I go, Gary, give it back. And after
I don't think he'll be gone long.
He'll come back.
Yeah, he'll come back.
Hey, he can't take me out to dinner, so he can just go away.
Right. Yeah.
Haven't you heard the stories of some of them?
No.
Crazy women. No. There's some crazy women online that date spirits. I think the one I read was married to an old pirate.
Yeah.
This spirit, this ghost pirate, and then the headline in one of the papers said, "The ghost pirate and so are now getting divorced."
No.
I'm like,
well,
God.
He cheated on her.
I'm like, people.
What now? The ghost cheated on her.
Yeah, it's like old editions of the National Enquirer or something like that.
Oh my God. No.
All those tabloids.
I want flesh and blood, damn it.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I got vampire teeth.
Great.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else are we doing today? What are you doing today, Rob? What's your plans for today?
Sitting inside listening to it rain. Finally.
Oh, it's raining everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not too far from me, so he's probably getting it, and I'm getting it after he does.
Yeah, I think. Let me look.
Yeah.
Nope, still sunny outside.
Oh, shut up.
It rained this morning, though. It was thunder and lightning when we woke up. Diamond woke up at a start because it thundered. Big, huge boom.
Yeah, you've been dealing with that a lot lately.
Yeah. Well, at least now my electrical panel doesn't go out.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can have that. But
yeah,
we're gonna sit inside and listen to it rain and watch hiking videos all day. I'm sure something like that. Something just super fun.
I've got so much studying to do. Ugh.
Oh yeah, no, I have chores to do. My wife gave me a list. So it is what it is. Oh, whatever. That's right. Poor thing. I have the cats in here in the room, and the one's looking at me like, "Why is the door closed?"
Oh.
Yeah. So you guys could hear the voices then? Is that right?
I do.
I very rarely will hear them. The first one I heard was somebody in my ear going, "Want a party?"
Yeah. I just heard one. I just heard one at work yesterday. So.
Yeah, I see mostly it's movies in my head. It's like
I see.
It's like
I
screen
see.
Comes down and it's a movie.
Yeah, I see still pictures, and then I have seen through the eyes of the person who's been deceased. That was weird.
Ooh, that would be weird. No, thank you.
The murder of I think she was a dancer and by Las Vegas or Reno or something like that. I can't remember what ranch it was, but yeah, I was connecting with David Purdy from Ghost in the Hood. It was a show on, I think, A&E. And I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I talk to him every once in a while. But he was on my show once, and I had that vision of living her last moments, which was she was in the back of the pool when she was drowning. That was a terrifying thing when I woke up because I was actually awake when I was experiencing it, but I got the image of the whole layout. And then when I talked to Birdie about it, I described it, and he sent me a picture of where the pool and where the building was, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, that was freaky.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I get most of the times when spirits come through to me, it's when I'm doing somebody's ancestry, and their family comes through to me and tells me about their life
to basically correct anything
Oh
that's
yeah, that's exactly
wrong.
what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lead me. They're like, "Oh, that's not her." I hear that so many times. "Oh, that's not them. No, no, they're over here. No, that's not them." Yeah, and
Yeah.
my favorite one was the guy that had entered the United States illegally, and his family had no idea that they were living in the States illegally. And he laughed and laughed and laughed when I found that, and then he just disappeared.
Hmm.
He thought that was the funniest thing on the face of the planet that he got in, and
Yeah.
nobody was wiser.
Yeah. There's so many different. I mean, different avenues. I mean, for gifts that she has different gifts than I do. I don't experience the ancestry thing like she does, but she doesn't also doesn't hear or see. I don't.
No,
You've
I
never.
not as far as
You,
not like you.
no,
No.
you've never
Mm-mm.
experienced
Nope.
the eyes
Don't
of
want it.
going through the eyes of a deceased
Mm-mm.
person. That was kind of freaky. I've done that a
Yeah.
couple times, and that's kind of freaky.
I passed the message
Yeah, I've
from
seen
a dead
shadow
person to
figures and
life.
things like that.
Yeah,
But
shadows. Yeah.
You know.
yeah, I've seen things like that, but I don't, see or hear their voices or
How
anything
long
like
Well,
that.
you
It's
know,
just
what, I
a
don't,
feeling
Rob.
I get of
I don't
them.
think it's. I don't think it's out of the woods for you. With
That's what I
what
was
Mhm.
you
just gonna say. I think how
Yep.
many years are you out of the heart attack?
Yeah, it's just two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You
You're
might have
about
more
due,
ahead of
buddy.
you.
Yeah.
You might have more
Yeah,
ahead of you.
Well, and I also
yeah.
think that, it's, I would like to go other places and be around a few other people.
Like-minded
Um,
people. Yep.
What do you mean be social?
well, that too. Yeah, I need to get out of this room.
Yeah.
Um, it's well, I mean, like paranormal investigators and things like that, because I've been around the same few
Yeah.
so so much that it's almost I've learned how they do things, what they're going to do. It's almost it's like clockwork,
Right.
Right, right,
and I feel like I don't experience or learn anything new
Oh, right.
if that continues. And it's and I've done Broadhead Manor to death, and it's a great
right,
place. I mean, if anybody wants to go investigate, that is the place to go to. I mean, it's just so it's a friendly atmosphere, especially if you're a first timer.
right,
It's a very friendly atmosphere, and you're gonna get what you want, and it's a very lively place.
right.
Um, but I do want to find someone that is willing to do some different things, like Tennessee or
Mhm.
Hey, come on
Illinois, something
down.
like that.
Come on
Yeah,
down.
I mean, I
I've
would
got
love to go on an
investigations
investigation with
going
someone new.
all the time, and I love having guests on. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
we go out. I've got a team of about it's a dozen of us now. We call ourselves the Paranormal Dozen.
there you
But
go.
then we just picked up our first property that we're going to be doing events at, and so that's one place that we're going to be investigating quite frequently. And
Mhm.
it's the one that it took 2 weeks to stop vibrating from. So, but
Hmm.
yeah, I'm more than happy to have you come down. In fact, we've got that investigation the 18th. If you want to come on down to Rock Island, we're going
Yeah.
to do the
Oh,
YMCA that the Paragon's going to be in.
yeah, I'll hit that up.
Yeah,
Definitely, I'll for sure 100% be there.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just like to kind of get out and experience some new people, see how they do things, their ideas, what they experience,
Yeah.
and some new places
yeah,
Right.
just to see what's there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're free the 18th, which is on a Monday, and it's Monday night from 5 to 1 a.m. And if you're free and if you set something
Come on.
that you feel that you want to do, shoot us a message and let us know.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely.
So because her team and my new team, Souls Paranormal, will be down there, and
Well, it'll just be me from my team. I don't think anybody's gonna travel with me.
no, but you are the team, so
No, I'm not. There's 11 other people. I've got a really good team now. I just picked up a tech.
okay.
I just picked up a camera tech. I'm so excited.
Right on, right on.
Camera tech and another new investigator. Most of my team is new. And because when I started in the paranormal, I said that I was going to give the opportunity for anybody who asked me to come and investigate to see if they
Right,
liked it.
right.
So I did that, and my team is pretty new, and they'll stay with me for a while. They might move on to another team. We might all stay together for years. I don't know. I just love
It's
having people
right,
get a
right,
chance to do what they want to do
right. That's cool.
because somebody gave me the chance.
Right,
Mhm.
Mhm.
right.
Somebody took me as a brand new investigator with not very much experience and said, "Here, have fun." So I get to go, "Here, have fun."
That could be a whole new podcast on that. But yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
what you. Oh yeah, you already know where I'm going with this. But yeah, it's taking on someone new and giving them the chance like that. It's something to be said because
Oh yeah,
it's
oh yeah,
just in the short period of time that I've been involved with some of this, it's pretty cutthroat.
Mm-hmm.
It
yeah.
It
can be
is.
Oh
very
yeah,
clicky.
yeah. It can be.
It can
Yeah,
be. Yep.
Yeah.
for something that
Yeah.
should be
You know,
enjoyable. Yeah.
you
Right.
want to
And it,
align yourself with the people that have the same similar mindset and are doing it for the right reasons.
Hmm.
right. Exactly. Yeah. And
You know.
I am so blessed to have a community around me that is para friendly and para unity, and we're all helping each other and having a good
Hmm.
time. So yeah,
There's too much
I'm
drama
very
in the
blessed.
paranormal field as it is right now, and so I try to keep my head down and just
Yeah.
do what I got to do.
Hmm.
Dealing with the social media aspects of it, and then I love meeting new people, and just like Kelly, I'm sure you love meeting new people, and
I do. Yeah.
so it's just that
I
open
love
door
hearing the
type.
stories.
Right, right, and
Same.
that's
I'm
where
a
it's at.
100% a people person. I love hearing people just talk about everything in their life. I'll listen to them all day
Right.
long. I
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
enjoy people.
Oh, then you'll definitely want to come to the Paracon
Yeah.
on October 7th because we're both speaking, and that's when I tell my story, my life after 42, and yeah, and people are going to be interested in that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I gotta think how old was I when I had that? Oh, 17. Okay. I was 54.
you know,
So
so
life after 54.
yeah,
You were
so I
50.
think
You were
we're going to
I was
54
kind of
then.
wrap it up
54 when I
here,
had my
so
kids.
we can wrap it up so we can
I'm 60 now.
know that. Oh, yeah.
I'll be 52 in March.
Woo!
Oh, oh, no, I'm
I want my
already
50s
52.
back. They were fun. I want my 40s back. They were even more fun.
No,
Oh, I don't remember half my 40s, but yeah,
yeah, I don't
sounds
either.
good.
Yeah.
But 60s,
So,
yeah, 60's been a really great year. It's been a very, very good year.
yeah. So
All right.
let's thank our guest, Rob Webb.
Thank
Thank you again
you.
for telling your story.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll have to have you on again, and I'm sure that you probably
We'll see you in Rock Island.
yeah, and
Yeah.
have some more stories and whatnot. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, this has been a lot of fun, and I'm so glad that you decided to chime in and tell us your story, and Kelly doing the hard
Me
work
too.
of
It's
letting some of
not
these
something I talk
people.
about very often.
Yeah, and
Well,
Kelly,
it takes a little bit of time before you're comfortable telling your story. I mean, I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
now
it
getting to the
is.
point.
Yeah, it does take time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm just now getting to the point of where I'm opening up about what happened and how it happened and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. I mean, I just yeah, on the podcast last night we were talking about my abilities of being a witch. So,
Yeah.
and that's the
So
first time I'd publicly admitted it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
of course, now we've had
Wow.
2 spirit sessions where they've both, accused me of it. So, I
Yeah.
guess I guess it's official.
Yeah. Right. It's official.
The spirit realm knows now.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
All right. Thank
I
you
want to
so
thank
much.
I
Have a
want to
great
thank Rob
week.
again. I want to thank my host Kelly.
Thank you. And thank you for having me, Jay.
Yeah.
Thank you for
And
tapping me on the shoulder after your spirit pushed you.
yeah. Yes, indeed. So, if anybody wants to find out where Rob is there some places that you have on social media that people can reach out to you?
My Instagram is the
Okay.
best way. It's just Rob Webb, ROBWEBB
Okay.
011. Is that right?
Yeah.
I
Is
have
that
no.
right?
It's Robert Webb 750 is my Instagram. I believe that's right. I have no idea. I'm
Okay.
about to give you my email address.
Are you
I
still
know how
doing
to open it up on my tablet.
are you still doing motorcycle customizations?
Not much of
Not much.
anything
Okay.
anymore. I really want to get into. I really want to get this Appalachian Trail knocked out maybe sometime, and then after that, and after maybe a few little trails, get some hiking done. Maybe I'll get back into some bikes.
There you go.
I just
Alright.
don't have
There you
any
go.
ideas, no passion, nothing for it right now. It's just
Yeah.
to be honest
Gotta
about it.
let it
Yeah, I'm not
go.
gonna. I could build a piece of junk for you all day long, but I have no idea of what I want to build right now. No clue.
Well, I'm
Wow.
sure it'll
It's
come to
gone.
you.
Yeah.
You'll get done doing the trip and you're going to come back going, I need to build a bike.
Yeah. It may be. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, good.
All right.
I hope
Thanks
you have a
everybody
great
for
week.
tuning in, and thanks
Thanks for
again,
having me.
Rob. All
Thank
right.
you.
you.
Bye.